I'm willing to bet my last dollar that you're not depressed, you're not angry, you're broke. And this is not to poke fun at you, but when you are broke, you practice brokenness bleeding from you. That's the conversation that we need to have. Hurry up and watch the video and get to the other side.
You have to be comfortable, not with the result, but the process of the work.
We will never be responsible for anybody's individual healing, but we are responsible for creating an environment for them to heal in.
Ooh-wee, I know some of y'all was crazy triggered when y'all seen that. You not depressed, you not angry, you broke. Y'all was like, who he talking about? Hell no. Anyway, my name is Tuwan Spencer, your favorite emotional regulation expert. And today I want to talk to y'all about what we was talking about in the beginning. You're not depressed, you're not anxious, you broke. And when you broke, it's a gateway to brokenness. What do I mean by that? Y'all know, here I like to be real, transparent, have conversations and tell y'all stories. So let me tell y'all the story about the birth of my brand, LIONH3ARTED. LIONH3ARTED focuses on emotional regulation, coaching for organizations, for families, for youth, where we basically teach individuals through different trainings, through different practices, how to leverage emotional regulation to be successful at whatever it is that they do. This is getting the youth to lock in at school, to regulate their own emotions. This is getting communities to work together towards common goals. Or this is going to a big organization and talking to them about how implementing certain systems built through LIONH3ARTED can change productivity, can increase retention, all of these different things, right? Like most brands, it had to start somewhere, right? And I had all of these grandiose ideas, but I had to work up to this point. In the start of LIONH3ARTED, I used to travel. And I would go speak at different organizations. I would do all of the work I do now, I would do it for free. I wanted to establish relationships. I wanted to build equity in the community and the organizations. The problem with doing it for free is even though you're building all these things, you're not making no money. And what happens is when you're really passionate about something, doing everything else seems like a waste of time. This is what I want to do, but I ain't making no money, and I struggle with that. So eventually, after I put some time in, I start to land different contracts and different opportunities. And so I get a contract, I sign it. This contract has net 30 in place, which basically means there's a day that the payout is supposed to come. They have up to 30 days afterwards to make that happen. I know it is, I do not like contracts like that. It is what it is. Day comes, money don't come. I am not happy. I got bills that's due. My daughter wants things. I'm trying to figure out some stuff with life. I need this money to come through. Every day that I was waiting, I think it might have been like a week and a half, I was mad. I was argumentative. I wasn't motivated, right? And then eventually, like maybe after a week and a half or so, I get an alert, check my account, money's there. Y'all should have seen me dancing around the house. I was doing every bit of and everything was good for a second until all of the money was gone. Once the money was gone, I'm like, I'm right back to the situation. Life sucks. I'm so sad. Man, nobody care. I'm right back to this spot. And then I realized that this is what was happening throughout the life cycle of the business. And it's the same thing we do in life, right? Why are we doing that though? Why are we doing that? If it's not about being depressed, but it's about being broke, why are we doing that? Here's the answer that I came up with. That broke okays the brokenness. So now what you start to do is to grow that feeling. You grow that space of, oh, I don't got it. Oh, I don't got it. And you start to let that bleed into every area of your life. And I'm here to tell you, it's not that deep. You didn't really need money. Yeah, you broke. Yeah, but you didn't really need money to fix that. What you need is systems. Because if I give you the money, and then in a couple of weeks, you're right back in the same system. The issue is not the money. The issue is this cycle that you locked into, this system that you've adopted that does not work for you. The need for the money, the need to see the business growth was just validating how hungry I was for the business. And that's a beautiful thing. What was okay in one season, as far as starting LIONH3ARTED, as far as doing all of these different things, what was good in one season didn't work in the next. So I laid down one foundation. Now that foundation didn't work anymore. It was time to enhance it. It was time to restructure. I needed systems. Systems is what was needed. I needed the confidence of knowing I have a structure and I'm able to do something based off of that. And this is not to say that there aren't moments where you are indeed dealing with depression. Go get the help that you need to get. But what I am saying is, what if you weren't depressed? What if your spirit was frustrated with the lack that you were perpetuating by what you were unwilling to do? What if it wasn't about you just being depressed, but your spirit was trying to communicate with you, hey, we deserve more. And we got to create spaces and systems that allow us to do that. That's a different type of conversation. One of the things that I'm going to always preach in this channel as I navigate life, and I'm sure you are too, is a spirit of accountability in the things that you do. When you hold yourself accountable, you allow yourself room to grow, right? And so what happens is, in my situation, I'm sure in others that's watching this, you weren't dealing with yourself the way you needed to. And so you found a thing that could make you feel like you was headed in the right direction. What I want to encourage you to do, and what I'm hoping that you do by the time you finish listening to this video, is stop dealing with the surface version of whatever's happening in your life and allow yourself to dig a little bit deeper. You're not depressed. This is not anxiety taking over. You're broke. And you having a problem with the broke is allowing your mind to drift in places where you perpetuate the brokenness that comes from it. You do deserve more. But it's not going to come just because you feel like you deserve more. It's going to come because you are intentional, in addition with your resiliency, to create spaces for more to come. Anyway, I love you. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. I started sharing the videos. The subscriber number jumped. There's so many comments, so much love. I appreciate y'all. I want to make sure I say that early. Emotional regulation work only works if you are emotionally regulating yourself. So the stuff that I'm talking to y'all about, I believe, I go through myself, and I appreciate you taking the time to come over and listen. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of those things. And until next time, I love you. Just make sure you're loving yourself. And also, be lion-hearted. Peace.